our weather alert, and so I don't want to waste any time. I want to bring in meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees. He is joining us here in the Live Impact studio. How are you doing today, Brittany?
Nick, before a day of severe weather, it's always kind of a reminder as to why we do what we do to help keep people safe. People ask me all the time, hurricane, severe weather. Aren't you excited? Never excited about the chance that people are going to see damage, but it is the reason why we do what we do. So it's a day that you got a little pep in your step, I guess, a little bit when you come into work, just knowing how important the work is.
So time this out for us. When can we see? When can we see what? I guess if that's the question I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, so this is a classic severe weather setup in the Carolinas. So we talk all the time about how 90% of our damage from severe storms comes from wind. This is a main wind event. We're looking at the risk for some straight line wind gusts. And so actually, as producer Carlene, the amazing person that she is, pulls up the severe weather risk, the biggest change from yesterday is the fact that we are now under a high risk from the Storm Prediction Center. Now, this is not a significant change, again, from yesterday. Medium to high, the threat level is very, very similar, but we don't get high risk days very often. So it is something that, again, we kind of perk our ears up to. This is not just here in the Charlotte area, but also across other portions of the Carolinas. I'm going to back that up for a second because I put it in motion too early. But so you can see the upstate of South Carolina toward the coastline as well under that high risk. So my suggestion also, if you have friends or family in these areas, pretty much all the way toward Charleston, Myrtle Beach, up and toward portions of eastern North Carolina, down in Georgia, including Savannah near the coast. Again, make sure they're staying weather aware too. Now, the big change that we have seen, which this is very classic example of why weather balloon data and all that model data is so important, is that we are starting to see colder air and some slightly drier air in the mid levels of the atmosphere. So that is an indication that we have a higher risk of seeing downburst winds. And so again, that's why that upper air data is so important. We talk about it all the time. Most of the upper air sites across the country do upper air soundings twice a day. Some of those have been cut lately. They still do try to do more on severe weather days. What essentially happens is the cold air in the core of the storm is what really drives, because it's so dense, some of that air to push toward the ground. And so that's why we typically see a higher risk of downburst winds on days where you have that little bit of colder and dry air at the mid levels. That's when we get those downbursts we specifically talk about. Now, a 60 mile per hour plus wind or more, that's considered gusty, damaging winds. That's when a severe thunderstorm warning will be issued. But here in the Carolinas, we can have what's called considerable or destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, which are issued for 70 and 80 miles per hour. So right now we're looking at 60 to 70. I'm not seeing a lot of support for up to 80, but I mean, severe storms that cause downburst winds do way more damage than hail and tornado. So it's just a good reminder that wind is wind, no matter what it's coming from, it typically causes the worst damage. So the timeline is pretty much now till about 6 o'clock. Again, gusty winds, number one. Large hail is a possibility. That'll be number two. When we have that colder air, same thing. Hail is typically a higher risk. And there is a quick spin up potential. Tornado risk is there. It is not zero, but that is going to be on the lower end of that risk. I think if you live in the Charlotte metro, the biggest risk is going to be between 2 and 4 o'clock. You can see some of those little cells here pushing through by about 3. Notice there's a little bit of twist and spin with some of those. That's indicating that we could see some of those quick spin up QLCSs, but just really, really strong storms. It's a pretty much classic picture, perfect, however way you want to look at it, severe weather setup. Not that we want severe weather, but it's the perfect setup for it today across the area. Thankfully, we dry out nicely heading into the weekend, so that's something to look forward to. Now, if you've seen rain so far today, that is not the line coming through. There's been some light rain in areas of the mountains and foothills, but it hasn't produced any storms because we are just now starting to see the sun come out and kind of break apart some of those clouds. More sunshine you get, higher instability, which means a better chance for storms. So that's current Doppler radar as we're looking a little bit further north there across the Charlotte area. So really quick kind of summary here. Again, number one is going to be damaging winds, 60 mile per hour plus. Large hail, number 2. Tornadoes, quick spin up is going to be number 3. The time frame now till about 6 o'clock. But if you live in the Charlotte metro, I'm talking Union County, Mecklenburg County, Gaston County, Eastern Lincoln County, York County, Northern Lancaster, places like that, 2 to 4 p.m. If you're a little bit further south and east toward Chesterfield, Anson County, Richmond County, probably closer to about 5 or 6 until all is done. The good news here is that everything rolls through pretty quickly, so it is going to be a quick moving storm event. So we're not going to be sitting here talking about severe weather for 6+ hours, but we will be live. Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich and I will be here on WCNC Plus, keeping you updated, and of course on linear TV as well as on our website, WCNC.com. So best thing you can do, stay weather aware, have multiple ways to get alerts, whether that's the WCNC Charlotte mobile app, your NOAA weather radio, anything that you can do to kind of prepare yourself and your family right now, because essentially the storms are already starting to push through portions of the Carolinas. So.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Brittany, it's important to have that app. Stay informed. Stay tuned in to WCNC Plus. Watch us
Yeah.
on social media. You guys do a great job on social media, updating us as far as what's going on. So yeah, we will definitely check in with you and Brad. He's supposed to be in a little bit.
Yeah, he will be in a little bit. And we did talk about this yesterday, too.
Yeah.
I know when I was on WCNC Plus, your live Impact News stream. But remember also, too, is streaming. There is a delay.
Yes.
So there's more urgency when you get those warnings. Whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning, we tell you to treat it like a tornado warning because, again, winds can cause just as much damage. Get to your safe place as quickly as possible if you get those alerts. And because, again, there is about a 30-second or so delay, kind of depending on your internet, So when we tell you that, of course, I think we talked about this yesterday. We'll normally kind of try to give you an early heads up if we think something is going to be issued for that reason. It's just kind of how TV and meteorology has evolved.
Right.
If we see something, maybe National Weather Service hasn't called it yet, but just pay extra attention if you're getting your information via streaming, whether that's our app, WCNC Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire, because it is a little bit more urgent because of that delay.
Okay. Oh, I wanted to say, my mother, Janet Bragg, wave to the camera. Hi, Mom. She's watching.
We love Janet.
So she wanted to say thank you for including the coast, the warning for the coast for the, our friends and family on the coast. Because she's like, sometimes because she watches us and she's like, she likes to hear the warnings for friends and family down at the coast.
Yeah.
That you're keeping them in mind. So thank you, Brittany.
You're welcome, Janet. We love you. We love Carlene. And I will say, I think that's a good reminder always, of course, the Carolina coastline toward Asheville. They're our friends and family too. They get it sometimes after we do. Sometimes they get it first, whatever the case is. And so we always want folks all across to stay weather aware.
And my mom is in the High Point Greensboro area, so she watches.
Yes.
So thank you on behalf of her.
Yeah. And they'll see similar
Moms
time
love
frame.
you.
So
Yeah.
text her, make sure she knows.
Moms love you.
Yeah.
Well, I know, Janet.